decided now was going to be a good time to go ahead and start it back up again. So, we just actually finished harvesting all the corn before I started streaming. And now I'm just getting a cover crop in before the winter. Because one of the things they've added in precision farming is a crop subsidy. If you plant a cover crop in your fields during the winter months up to February, and I think, what is it, it's 200 euros a hectare, and converting that to US standards, I'm not able to mentally do that, only because I don't know how to. I could just Google it, but, you know, I'm not in the mood to do that. I just want to get my cover crops in the ground and get on with life. We also sold the other two planters we had and got the it's a Kenzie planter, but it's one of the mods that just came out, and I changed the logo to Case because, you know, Case. Although, yeah, I'm currently operating it with the John Deere, but, you know, doesn't help whenever you don't have a case that is powerful enough to operate the planter, so if need be, I'll just change the logo and the colors to match. It also has the ability to row and mulch the soil as you're planting, so I only have the rollers on right now. You have to detach the rollers and attach the mulchers, but, you know, rollers help increase your yield. So I went with that obvious choice. One of the things I'm going to need to look into is tillage. Probably just rent a tiller for the spring to till in this oilseed radish once it's mature, so that we can increase it increases both the phosphorus and the nitrogen in the soil, which helps with the precision farming, which also boosts the yield of the crop more. So once I get that figured out, I can increase my yield to even more. And another one of the new things that they added into precision farming was tram paths, which I'm going to have to figure out later on. Tram lines, not tram paths. But one of the things I'll have to figure out later is the actual length that I'll need them to be for my sprayers once I get sprayers, and that's not what I need. So, like, it's 42 meters for a spreader, but I need one that spreads lime as well, so 30 would probably be what I'd set that at. And then if I set those at 30, I would therefore have to get a sprayer that will be about the same. And if I overlap a little bit, that's fine with me too. So yeah, I'd have 36 meters would probably be the best option for that. And you get like all the new fancy stuff onto it. Which brings it up substantially. But again, it'll be a little bit. Unless if I do that. And honestly, I have no problem using one of these. However, excuse me. The one I'm currently the planter, the Kinsey planter I'm using has liquid fertilizer. And if I get that for lime, you know, it spreads solid fertilizer. And so, yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that. Because once we get weeds, we're gonna have to spray the weeds, and that's gonna be something that's going to help with the environmental score, which also gets you which increases the sell price, which is fantastic. So it's 54 right now. It's going to be low because I just started precision farming, and the two crops that I just finished harvesting was what was in the fields whenever I started the game, the map. So some may wonder why field 39 looks the way it does. That's because I was planting field 39 with the old planter, and then I sold it and got the Kinsey with the roller, and so that's where I went back around with the Kinsey to finish up the field, because that's all that was left. Everything else is pretty much poop. And it wasn't laying down fertilizer, so voila, dealing with that. Which, I mean, I can easily go over with I have solid fertilizer, excuse me. So all I have, if I got this spreader, I'll just lay out some of the solid fertilizer out there. But right now, my main concern is getting this oilseed radish in. And then, while we're waiting for growth and February to come, we can fix up the grass and get cattle fed and get milk producing. And eggs as well, but eggs is a different story. And then we have slurry, which we will be able to use later. You can't add a sensor into that, so yeah, that's where we're at. Weeds are gonna be another problem, so honestly, so for the price of this one with all the modifications that you need, it's 116. What I was thinking, narrow tires, and that's about 200,000. Why can I not speak? Which, that one actually might be my best bet because it is within, it's closer to the length I need. Tis, that fertilizer spreader, or spreader. Oh, and then we're gonna have to get one of those eventually. Once the cows start producing a substantial amount of manure. And yeah, we're gonna release the spreader. Um, let's just go and see what we can do here. Okay, so we have soil sampling. We don't need pH, which is going to be lime. Nitrogen, which is fertilizer. Manure. Slurry. Weed control via spot sprayer. And it also saves me money. Excuse me. So, with that, with what I just read, if I, in fact, just go with that, because all I'm going to really need this for is herbicide. Getting rid of weeds and weed control. I'll probably only need about, 2 pallets of herbicide, and that will, with the new precision modding add-ons, 2 pallets should last me a while. So I'd be going for this one with the narrow tires. So I need to save up about $120,000 for that alone, with the additional wait a second, that's 24. Oh, those two would work perfectly. Okay, so la 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 la. Let's go here. Let's go tram lines of 24 meters. This one with tram lines of 24 meters. Obviously, the tram lines will, the correct tram lines will be placed into the field on the next planting once we plant our harvest crop in. those tram lines that the correct tram line lengths will be put in. As for now, figure out which way I want to start on this line for this wonderful planting. And I find it funny to me that we're sitting here. I knew I was coming in at the wrong side. The tram lines are in. Actually, that makes sense. We're not setting. The tram lines aren't being set at the where the wheels of the tractor is currently. We're setting them up for when we come back through with the sprayer and spreader. I do not know why my brain is not comprehending that after I just went through all that trouble of trying to decide and figure it. Ugh, love it when that happens. We're going into the ditch. Let's try this again, except from another angle. So right now, oilseed radish does not require a lot of nitrogen, and I believe it doesn't take any phosphorus. I was in the right place the first time. What is that? Oh, that's cool. Kinda a cool pattern. Yeah, so phosphorus doesn't need. All of the ground surprisingly has a lot of phosphorus. What is it corn does? Corn takes nitrogen out of the soil. Soybeans put nitrogen into the soil, which is why soybeans and corn are good swap crop, as I like to call it, swap crop. They work good together. A lot of farmers put those two as a combination. These little farmers I know, they'll harvest corn. They'll put they'll put corn in one field, and then the following year they'll put soybeans in that field to help with the balance of nutrients in the soil. So I don't remember if corn takes phosphorus or if corn puts phosphorus in. I'm gonna say it takes it out because this line is where I started with precision farming. And you can see it is darker than without it. Precision farming. So I'm gonna have to put some line down whenever I plant my next corn crop. which isn't going to be a problem. At least not too big of a problem, I don't think. The only problem I'm thinking I'm going to have is being able to financially buy all the consume, no, all the, I want to say, I just want to call it products. All the products I need to get a well-balanced soil. I mean, I basically drained my bank account, filling this planter up with seed and fertilizer, and not that I'm complaining about it, it's barely using any of it. That's why I like precision farming. Because what would take base game a lot of unnecessarily a large amount of seed, precision farming actually makes it realistic in consumption, and you're not using as much. So it goes a lot further. And because oilseed radish doesn't take nitrogen, or it takes a lot of nitrogen, I'm really not using my nitrogen, or my liquid fertilizer at all. What I'm going to have to do is more than likely do some jobs. Hired on as a ranch hand to make a little extra money during the down months while we're waiting for oil seed radish to grow and before we do the fabulous tillage. Excuse me. I'm going to need to make money to get these tools. I wonder if having too much nitrogen is going to hurt this. But we're gonna have to learn a little bit more of the new precision farming, because they've updated a lot of things on it since 22, and it's come a long way since 19. And I'm cool with that because I've liked using it for as long as I have, and a lot of my other friends liked using it. It's all coming along very nicely so far. Being able to plant at 15 miles an hour is also a large help. Yeah, we've got what we need here. We have a lot of opportunities to make some moolah and get these pieces of equipment I need. And I guess all of nice chemicals and seed that I need. I really do. I think, what is it, 22? Close to the end of the time I played 22. They added the FBN, Farmers Business Network's brand of seed in the mod hub. I'm wondering if they're ever going to... I forgot what modder brought them to the hub. And I'm hoping that they may do that soon for 25, as well as the Gleaner Combine, because by God, I loved using that thing, and it quite literally just got released whenever I stopped playing 22. So I only played 22 with the Gleaner Combine. Okay. With the Gleaner Combine for about 2 months. And then switch because, you know. But I think I will eventually go back to 22 and, you know, play with the Gleaner. I wonder, do I could have sworn I did. Where's that at? Why is it over there? Alright, well, I guess smack one down over there. Huh? Oh, I should have placed over here at the workshop, but that's okay. I can always get another one. Because I'm going to have things in the places that I need it. I've also got to go down to the store, pick up the trailer and forklift and bring it back. Because I have a little bit of everything all over the yard, mainly fertilizer boxes, because whenever I sold the planters, I just unloaded them in one spot. Excuse me. For easier cleanup whenever I'm cleaned up next. And then don't mind the bale explosion over there. I may or may not have hit the bale stack by accident. I mean, I was gonna rearrange the bales anyways once the grass over here came back in. Yeah, grass really does need. Oh, well. Expected yield is 112%. That's 29.5 to a hectare. Yield potential is at max 125%. So it's not bad, but it could be better. But it's also grass. I don't make money off of it. I use it for feeding my cattle. But still, getting a large amount of it is not gonna be a bad thing, because that's I'm gonna be feeding a lot. Manure, slurry, meadows back up, it looks like. Buffalo milk. I have buffalo milk and I have milk. Right. I don't know why they don't put both at the same, but okay. Whatever floats their boat. What was I doing next? I think I was gonna do these jobs before they go away. Sounds like a plan. Now, what I can do, and what I want to do, is, holy crap, it's going to take me bloody forever to finish these. I forget how big these bloody fields were. What is this? This is, corn. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I can do those, honestly. Just because it's 40,000, 38,000, and about 100. And I can use all of that money right there to get the wonderful equipment I need. Sorry for the squeaky chair. I have got to figure out how to get this thing to be a lot quieter. Alright, let's look at this. We have 22, 16, and 2. 2's right here off of our farm land, so... And field 2 was, corn. Going to the grain mill. Okay, cool, cool. Let's go get this started, I guess. Okay. Steering sensitivity, I think, is needing to be readjusted. I love that. I love the rippling effect. Well, okay. I really wish there was a way to reset this. Whatchamacallit? But the new chart or thing that they showed to kind of tell you how much you've harvested so far and your yield. sort of okay with it not telling me their yield. I wish it did. Could have sworn it did in 22, but that's okay. It's nice to see what their fields are yielding. I almost said yields of fielding. Fields are yielding. This doesn't happen to be the biggest header for corn, right? $13 meters, and we're using a 10. So it's not like it's a lot bigger, but it's still big. Let's figure out, I guess, some of this other stuff here. So, fields 2, 22, and 16 are the ones we're working on. Pretty sure they're yielding pretty high. This field at least is. In my opinion, and that's filling up at a decent rate. Should be almost exhausted. I'll probably have to put it in the defroster. Still got a long stretch to go.
still me.
into the fun of doing large fields contracts. last one full truck for sure. I think it's gonna be like about 27% left in this hopper. Green tank, whatever. That's a surprise. Alright, I think I'm going to take a little break here and get a couple of things done before I continue playing for a little bit longer. But hopefully I can get these contracts done in a quick amount of time and don't spend too long on them. And from there, we'll catch you all next time.